Welcome to the Magic of Coffee. I'm your host, Alex, and across from me is Jordan. Today, we are talking about Arena, the decks used, the prices, Logan, and much more. Let's get into it.
A trigger happens because it's different than the Auspicious Star X trigger is. Because the Auspicious Star X trigger, it's just how many times that creature is mutated, and then you pull that many cards out. But the Apex of Witches trigger is you pull you mill yourself until you pull a non-land creature or non-land card or what a permanent, and then you can either play it or put it in your hand. So if I have, a 6 creature mutated and then I drop Ghidorah on it, it's like, how do I keep track of the triggers? Which card do I pick? I would have to be like, this is the Apex of Wishes trigger, and then this is the Auspicious Star X trigger, and then it's like Migratory Greathorn trigger or Parcel Beast triggers or Gem Razor triggers. So like I have to, it's just impossible to keep track of in real life.
You know what?
I have to take notes and keep dice and things everywhere.
You know what trigger was annoying before all this? What? We sound like we're underwater. The cat triggers.
Yeah, I had a guy who it was a game, and this guy was doing Witch's Oven, and I guess he was supposed to do Cauldron Familiars. The game lasted like 20 minutes because he wouldn't Cauldron Familiar at the end of my turn and then the beginning of his turn. He would tap the Witch's Oven at the end of my turn and then bring Cauldron Familiar back at the beginning of his turn, so it wasn't double triggering. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He just had a pile of food tokens. I was like, what? I was like, is that your point? Are you just trying to pile up food tokens to survive this? I think I ended up losing, but
I mean the triggers are so
I do have to pull up Arena. Sacrifice
decks are now it's the Rakdos Sacrifice. They're the only thing in relative meta.
Yeah, those are annoying too. It's because of the companion.
Does my hair look like garbage?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Your hair looks delicious. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Okay, that was weird. Oh, it has to update, that's why.
Well, yeah, man. Welcome.
I have not been here at my own apartment for a week.
Yeah, man. It's been weird.
I hate it. Yeah.
It's been real weird.
Yeah. I mean, it was nice the first few days of being alone, and then I this giant house, being by myself with 2 dogs. It started getting to me. So now I sleep with a gun next to me. Yeah.
Welcome to the army.
I sleep with lights on so I can see the shadows if they come by the door and all this other stuff.
God, I'm never going to be your roommate.
I mean, if it's here, it's different because I know where all the rooms are and if somebody comes in or not because I can hear it for sure. But they have an alarm when it beeps every time a door opens, but I still don't trust it. And I also so it's that creepypasta of the person living in the guy's house or something like that. It still creeps me out today, so I always think about that, which is whatever. But
yeah, I don't know. I live in a van, so
yeah.
There's a bit of of nervousness.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
You also have said multiple times you have several knives in your car, so...
Yeah, you sleep with a gun. I sleep with literally I can just grab in any direction, and I have some kind of weapon.
Yeah.
And I'm also probably going to get my gun and put it in there. Because, I mean, realistically, what I'm going to probably end up doing is I'm probably going to, unfortunately, forcefully drag you along to a trip.
Up to Oklahoma?
No, just camping or something.
Oh, yeah, I don't care about that. So.
And just to keep you safe, I'm going to give you a gun to keep me safe. Because you're trained to use them.
No, I am. So
how's the house? Aside from you having fucking PTSD, how's the house?
no, it's fine. I do enjoy it. I'm playing Grand Theft Auto Online on this giant, projector screen.
That's
now.
sick.
So that's a lot of fun. But my days are mostly split up of doing. Well, now it's podcast stuff, and then Magic Arena, and then I play GTA Online at night, and then I try not to play Arena when I talk to Lauren because at night because it's super addictive. And you're always like, I can do one more game.
You know what we should do
one more game
with Magic? We should start a podcast.
Oh my god, it's like we have. Yeah. So like yesterday, for example, I spent most of the day getting the YouTube stuff figured out, like up and trying to figure out. It's called Gimpy, GIMP, and it's like a Photoshop knockoff. And I was using it to play D&D with back in the day.
Speaking of, continue.
And so I was like, they updated it, so I don't know how it works anymore. So I'm gonna have to kind of watch some videos and figure out how to use that again. So it's probably, unfortunately, going to be like my mornings are kind of doing that stuff, video editing the podcast and like the podcast extras to get it up on Thursday, which is fine. It gives me stuff to do, which is good. Yeah. And it's good that we're doing it now because like if and when I get a job again, I'll actually have like some sort of system figured out and I can do it pretty quickly. So
yeah, the benefit of quarantine is that we have all the time in the world to prep to make sure we can get this all going.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Because the whole like because of this laptop now, the whole sound editing is going to be exponentially easier.
Yeah.
Excuse me. There's still going to be a little bit of issue here, but once I go back to Oklahoma, I'm going to get my actual like interface and my drivers, and then we're just gonna. Unfortunately, we're not going to be mobile anymore. But instead of using this, I will just plug directly into here.
Yeah, and we can still be mobile. It's just if like we like go somewhere or do something.
Yeah, well, I'll still have all the stuff to do it.
Yeah.
It's just while we're here, we might as well just have that.
No, and I like it. We're slowly getting to a more professional level, and more of a level where we can start pumping out content more frequently and do things, which is super cool, and I like that a lot. It's not career level yet, but we're getting there.
We are getting there. I mean, we're getting there faster than I expected.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Why is it downloading more stuff?
I don't know. Mine was downloading today too.
Yeah, and they might be pushing out something. But so.
Well, they're pushing out historic shit.
Oh yeah, they are, and they're doing today, like this morning. Wizards announced they're doing. It's called Double Master. It's a new like set, I think, for maybe Modern or Legacy or something like that. Or they're just like, we have too many cards. We lost a ton of revenue because we put Ikoria out late, so and it did not sell as well.
I don't think that's true.
I think that's. I know Ikoria is selling super well.
Because Death Corona, we were like, we gotta get it.
Yeah, I know.
And we fucking got it. If you don't believe us, go and see the video on YouTube.
YouTube video. We will start tagging all of that stuff.
Yeah. YouTube.com. So you do. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me.
I have all that stuff, and I like our YouTube video is really well done too because I did like the follow us on Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud, and Twitter. Like underneath.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
It's getting there.
But yeah, this week specifically, we wanted to talk about Arena because we're both starting to play it now.
Oops.
And we're both starting to kind of get a grasp on it. I've been playing it a little longer than you have. And we're probably the last two Magic players in the entire world to actually start playing Arena.
I personally still hate Arena, but I can't go and play Friday Night Magic, so I guess I'm going to do this.
And I don't like... and that's what I really wanted to talk about this week is my gripes. I guess my likes and dislikes with it. With how the game as a whole feels. Because, like, even packs, like, opening those packs, they're not exciting. They're not fun, you know? It's like, well, here's 10 cards.
Yeah.
Flip the last one. Oh, you got a mythic wild card.
Oh, it's only 10?
It might be more. I don't know.
Because it's usually 15 cards per pack.
It's not 15. I know that it's not 15.
That's unfortunate.
I can look it up real quick once this is done downloading. But I didn't think there was supposed to be download. Yeah, and it's just like at this point I have 3 decks. 2 of them are within the meta, and then it's my Gruul deck. I changed up a little bit to help fit this new meta, but yeah, I would have to say cycling is the worst deck in the meta at the moment.
Yeah, it's what you were telling me. Now, I'm assuming that they're using Zenith Flare.
Yeah, Zenith Flare isn't. There are 4 of them in every deck. So realistically, your opening hand wants to be 1 or 2, either 2 Flourishing Foxes, a Flourishing Fox, or a Valiant Rescuer. Flourishing Fox is a 1 white drop. It's a 1/1, and then every time you cycle, Flourishing Fox gets a +1/+1 counter on it.
Okay.
And then Valiant Rescuer is a 2-drop. Okay. It comes in as a 3/1, and the first time you cycle, every turn, my turn or your turn, you get a 1/1 soldier token. So you want to get those 2 out as quick as possible, and then you just want to start pumping like cycling cards. And the cycling decks are built around cycling 1 or 2, so you can just keep on doing it. Just keep cycling.
Yeah, I'm looking at Zenith Flare. So for anyone who doesn't know, Zenith Flare deals. Do you have sound on?
Yeah, I'm turning it off.
I was like, what is that noise? Zenith Flare deals X damage to any target, and you gain X life, where X is the number of cards with a cycle ability in your graveyard.
So people have usually just like, even if I don't touch, like even if they can't touch me because like either the Gruul deck is just going in, right, and it's just doing what it's supposed to do, or the Mutate deck is doing what it's supposed to do, and I just have a ton of creatures on the field, they'll literally just Zenith Flare me, if not once, twice. Yeah. You know, and then it's just like...
That's why I want to run control.
Yeah, so, yeah, and then it's that, and then it's Draenith Stinger is another big one. Whenever you cycle another card, Draenith Stinger deals 1 damage to each opponent. So they usually do, like, Flourishing Fox turn 1, Valiant Rescuer turn 2, and then, like, Draenith Stinger turn 3 or something like that, so they can keep cycling. But everything... Like, my deck's a little different because I didn't want to, like, do all that crap. So I have some of, like, the cycle lands and some other things in there. But, yeah. White Weenie is a thing again, especially because of Healer's Hawk, because it's a 1-drop, and it has lifelink.
Oh, White Weenie is fire.
Yeah, White Weenie is really good right now.
I remember when we first started this podcast, we were talking mad shit.
Yeah, they fixed White Weenie.
And then they... I think everyone was saying it, and so like even Command Zone was saying it, like the Arena podcast was saying it, and fucking MTG Goldfish, they were saying it, and I think Wizards was like, oh yeah, we should probably just fucking fix this shit.
Yeah, and with the cycling, Loris is in there because Loris can just bring back any cycling cards from the graveyard, so it's just, you can infinitely cycle more or less when you get Loris on the field. Yeah, and then I have a Mutate build. It's similar to the one that was in Bad Boy Gaming that is based around Alunia, Apex of Wishes, and the Auspicious Strayix. So, and then there's just there are no spell costs because Umari is the companion, and Umari's companion is each non-land card is starting deck shares a card type, which is creature.
Yeah.
But it allows me to, when I bring it out, everything, like, I can either pick lands cost 1 less or creatures cost 1 less. So, which helps out with getting the things out quicker. And then Poliwag Symbiote. But I figured out how to run this deck because at first when I built it because I was like, oh, this is so much fun, and I didn't know how to run it. You bring you have to have a Barrel Grazer out turn, like a Barrel Grazer and Paradise Druid in your hand, opening hand. Mm-hmm. Drop a Barrel Grazer out, you get 2 lands turn 1. Turn 3, you have 3 lands, and then you drop a Paradise Druid, and then you do not tap Paradise Druid. And then you just mutate everything on Paradise Druid. The only thing that'll get rid of it is, like, Shatter the Sky.
Shatter the Sky or, like, or a Time Wipe, things like that.
Yeah. Extinction Event, stuff like that. But, yeah, and this Mutate deck is a lot of fun. The only thing it doesn't really hold up against is that Cycling deck, because that Cycling deck, even, like, it's not even because it doesn't hold up against it. It's because of the Draenith Stinger and Zenith Flare.
I feel like
because Zenith Flare is so freaking dumb.
Well, also if you have like fight cards or vicious bite or things like that, like they don't necessarily need to have creatures on the board. They just need to cycle, and then they can run Zenith, and then they can just play Zenith Flare.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It does, like, cycle decks don't matter, and then nothing's fast enough at this point to beat a cycle deck.
I don't know. Mono Red could probably do it.
I've beaten Mono Red a few times. Mono Red, they're like the meta's changing with Mono Red, or people are like wanting to integrate Ikoria cards into Mono Red.
Oh, I'm sure.
And that build isn't working.
Oh, I'm very much sure. We went thoroughly through, not thoroughly. We didn't check the commons and uncommons.
Yeah.
Which the majority of Mono Red is common and uncommon cards. Realistically, like the cards really run it. Minus like Fairvent Champion.
Yeah, I mean Fairvent Champion's dumb in its own right.
Yeah, but take that out and you can run. You can still run a decent deck. It's not going to run as well, but you can still like fucking what is it? Light Up the Stage is kind of required at this point. Bone Crusher is rare.
Yeah, I played a guy with Bone Crusher, and I beat him because I don't know if he couldn't get his deck online or something like that, but yeah. So,
but
it's also fun playing my Garul deck at this moment because it's not in the meta. Like Garul's not in the meta at all, and so like I start playing it, and then people don't know what to do.
Oh yeah,
because that's also fun. That's why I play it quite a bit right now too. Is because people just don't know how that deck runs, and then they're like, and then I like drop the Boar God, and they're like, and they're like trying to get rid of it, and then they don't know what to do because you can't shock it, or like even there's a 4.
No, yeah, it's because it's a 6/6, right?
Yeah, it's a 6/6, and then they're scrambling, and then they drop a bunch of stuff to try to like stop it, and then I'll either have Gruul Spellbreaker on the field or Million Forerunner at that point, so everything gets trample, and then drop Rojas, and then they're like. And then, like, I sent a picture to you the other day. I put Hydra's Growth on Paradise Druid. I couldn't touch it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was like a 34 something.
Yeah, Paradise Druid starts out as a 2/1, and then it was like a 34-32 or something like that. And and I just swung. Agent of Treachery is still annoying, and people think it's going to get banned. It is not going to get banned.
It's not going to get banned. The fucking companions. So many people are using companions. Here's the reason why I don't think it's going to get banned.
Because that's what they're meant to do.
That's what they're meant to do, but all of them are so fucking overpowered. There's a couple that's like...
Loris is overpowered for sure. I could see Loris getting banned.
Loris is the...
It's the white-black...
Let me read this, boy.
Let me find him too.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Dream Den.
Yeah, Loris of the Dream Den.
Yeah,
it's because he can bring back instants and sorceries.
Yeah, which is sick. Well, no, it's not even instants. It's not instants and sorceries. It's permanents.
Oh yeah, just permanents in general. But yeah, that like the cycling decks have Loris, and they usually don't drop him because they don't need him. But if they can, then that's just.
Yeah, well, the thing is with that is like the companions, yes, are fucking overpowered.
Yeah.
Hell, one's already banned at this point.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're gonna get banned because it's not like we have one companion card. His name is fucking Oko, and like, you know.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I think there's gonna be a couple that are gonna be banned in standard, but I don't like Yorion. I feel like may.
I don't. Every time I've played a Yorion deck, they've never played it, and I don't understand how Yorion works because I've never like seen it in action.
The original Yorion deck that was first played, it was you have Omen of the Sea, Omen of the Sun, and then sometimes you'll have Omen of the Forge.
Yeah.
And so you'll just like pretty much bounce those. Mm-hmm. And then you'll bounce Luca and stuff like that. But Luca, you bring Luca out, and then you go and find Agent of Treachery.
Oh, and then you just take.
And then I'm just taking your shit. And then people either nerd rage. The Yorion decks in the meta right now are very, very similar to my Super Friends deck as far as like you have like just not even just Jeskai has very, very. There's cards like Dovin's Veto is always going to be in it. Deafening Clarion is going to be in it. Mm-hmm. You know, and then glass casket to fairies. So it's all relatively the same. It's just now for some reason Yorion just bounces everything. But to be honest, anytime that I've watched or looked at any of the Yorion decks, we're bouncing shit, yeah, but like it's not really doing anything.
Yeah, that's the weird part is because I've played several Yorions, but they never drop Yorion. I don't know if it's because I'm like, it might be because of the Paradise Druid and stuff like that, and they can't, Agent of Treachery can't take Paradise, but yeah. I really like dropping Bonder's Enclave my first turn because it also confuses people. Because I've realized now, Bonder's Enclave is just a land, and you can tap it for a colorless land, and then you tap 3, tap it, and then you can look for a card as long as you have a creature with 4 great toughness power.
What is this called?
Bonder's Enclave. It is overpowered, but I drop it first turn because I've realized within Arena, everybody based their deck around that first. Like, everybody, like, that's how you figure out what decks they're running. So I never drop a gate or anything like that at this point, which is a little silly. It depends, but if I have a Bonder's Enclave, I'll always drop it first.
Oh, drawing a card.
Yeah, you draw a card.
Okay, I was like, wait, you search for a card?
No, yeah, you just draw a card. Yeah. Also, Parcel Beast is overpowered because it's a 2 mutate, and then you can tap it for 1 and then draw a card. So,
I'm still like getting used to these cards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is your fucking card.
Yeah,
you're running Simic.
Yeah, I'm running Simic.
I forgot you're running
Simic. It's a Simic mutate build.
Yeah, 2 mutate.
Yeah, it's 2 mutate, and then you get free card draw.
1 tap it. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield.
Yeah.
Okay. Why are you an uncommon?
Yeah, I know.
If you don't put that card into.
Yeah, you can put it in your hand.
You don't put that card in it. Oh yeah, it's just free card draw.
Yeah, it's
what
free
the
card
fuck?
draw.
Give me a second. I gotta get my iPad and coffee's hitting.
Okay.
I don't know what to do on Arena.
Yeah, and that was my problem. Is like I built the mutate deck originally because I thought that I could. I was like, oh yeah, that'll be fun. I could get into Arena that way, and then I quickly realized I don't know how to run this deck, and Arena is insane and super aggressive. But it's dumb because cycling has kind of taken over the meta at this point. Like every 1 in 5 games that I play is cycling. There's a cycling deck. Probably even like 2 in 5 games there's a cycling deck that I'm playing. And Zenith Flare always beats me. But like if you don't do ranked matches and just do like the play, there's a lot of non-meta decks at this point. I like doing the play stuff because people just test out decks that way, and I like playing those tested out decks. At this point, I've been playing for 4 or 5 days, and I'm at Gold Tier 3 now. And that's really it. Like most of the time, I didn't play a ton yesterday just because of building the YouTube account and getting that set up, which I still need to work on that. There's a lot more that I need to do that way. I don't like the algorithm shuffling. So
you can definitely let me get to the mic. You can definitely tell that it is like when we shuffle, we might just be shitty at shuffling, but when we shuffle, it's like anytime that I've mulliganed, it's like almost in some ways like if I go down to 5, it's like I have a better hand, like an ideal hand, even though I have 5, and it's like I don't know if I like that. Like, cool, I might win the game, but also like,
how I've experienced mulliganing in Arena is if I mulligan down to 5, it's usually a worse hand than I had turned like the original hand that I had. And it's just annoying. I don't like the algorithm at all because I feel like after you, I don't know, because I feel like sometimes it prioritizes land, and then sometimes I feel like it doesn't prioritize land, and it's just annoying in that sense because it's like, I don't know, it's just dumb. And that's my biggest gripe, I think, is the shuffling algorithm at this point. And And that they could do pack openings a little better.
Yeah, it's very anticlimactic.
It's very anticlimactic, especially because like you had all those codes, and I gave you all those codes. There's a bunch of free codes for free packs online if you didn't know that already. Just look up Magic Arena codes, and you can get like 20 packs pretty much for free.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's a nice little free packs just to start the game with. And you can get 2,000 XP real quick too, which helps quite a bit for gold and other things. For more packs. But yeah,
you're definitely gonna have to give me like a full tutorial on this shit, because I'm still like, I'm gonna, once we get off here we have to do filming, but after that,
we should have plenty of time to be able to do what we need to do. But yeah, I don't know how long we've been recording.
not long, but
you usually flip it and it tells you when you flip it. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Only 30 minutes.
Only 30 minutes.
Yeah, we have to. So when we do the box opening later, we have to like do it in 30 minutes.
Okay. Well, to be honest, so I told you to do it, but I don't know if you did. Did you look up to see if there's any commons or uncommons that are over $1?
No, there are not any. I mean, we can look it up right now.
And if there are cards you are looking for, great. So here's the thing about this pack, for people that don't understand. This pack
is Japanese.
Is a Japanese.
And it is sealed, and it looks like it hasn't been opened yet, which is dope. So.
Yeah, it's completely sealed. I have not opened it. I want, dude.
I'm not worried about you opening it. I'm worried about other people opening it.
You should never trust me if I'm alone with an unopened box.
I mean, I am.
You
surprised.
should call me every hour and be like, "I have a gun. Do not open it."
I'll come over there and shoot you. No, I mean,
I will shoot you.
The big cards that we're looking for in that is the Japanese Mechagodzilla, and then Bunder's Enclave is only 60 cents.
We're looking for Mechagodzilla and
Barada, the Japanese Barada.
Yeah, Barada. Those are the ones I'd like to see, like to find, but also I would not mind at all whatsoever a Japanese Luca.
A Japanese Luca would be cool. A Japanese Ghidorah or Mothra would be. I would like a Mothra because then I could build a deck a certain way. I put a Biocord Space Godzilla in my Mutate deck because Apex of Forever, you can mutate him from your graveyard. So that's his mutate cost, and I like doing that. I like, because with how that deck runs, you're just milling yourself a lot of the times, and so if he just ends up in the graveyard, I could just like pull him real quick.
That makes sense.
Yeah. There is a Japanese Mothra's Giant Cocoon, which is a mysterious egg, is running, which is a common that is running for $10.
Oh. First of all, the card itself sucks ass.
Yeah, mysterious egg is terrible. Don't run that.
If you have a build, by all means let me know.
I've seen people try to do it within mutate decks, and they try to mutate it onto mysterious eggs because it gives them a +1/+1. Don't do that. Run an Essence Symbiote, because Essence Symbiote is a 2-drop. It's a 1 colorless, 1 green. It drops as a 2/2, and then its text is as long as you mutate a creature, it gets a +1/+1, and you gain 2 life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like just run that. Don't run mysterious egg.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's super good.
Yeah, that's good. I really want to get into the mutate decks, but obviously, as we've said in the past, you are an aggro player, and I am definitely not, which is very unfortunate because aggro seems like it's doing real well. There's no counter decks in the meta right now.
No.
Like, there's control decks, kinda.
No, everybody's trying to run some sort of mutate build at this point, or cycling.
Well, there's a couple other things. Like, there's there's stuff around companions. There's just no decks that are just like counter.
Yeah, super. I've played a couple of those, and oh my god.
What, counter decks?
Yeah, I watched a video yesterday, or a couple days ago, and the guy was like, if you run counters, you have daddy issues. And I was like, that's Alex. Which it's true. If you run counter builds,
it is true. I have daddy issues. What the fuck? Ow! I clipped the fuck out of that.
Yeah, you did.
Ooh, that one hurt. I gotta edit that out. What are we at? 31. Hold on. I gotta put it in the notes.
Type that in.
Ooh, buddy.
Yeah, there's a dinosaur token that's 83 cents. The Kraken token is 85 cents.
I'm not gonna save those.
The dinosaur beast token is 96 cents. The tokens are like really expensive for whatever reason. The Kraken token is $1.
I don't know why, which is really weird. You know, like even the tentacle token it's not like a lot, but it's like higher than you'd think.
I love people that try to play that shit because I just wreck them.
I also don't think a lot of people on Arena know how to build. Like you haven't had the like unfortunate just like raw like beatdown of someone that built just an expensive deck and then like physical tabletop and then like had to talk to me like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, dude, the one guy at the shop that we go to, he was cool. He was just pissed off because one guy was running mono red and he couldn't beat mono. It was weird because he beat me, but I beat mono red. Yeah. But he was just like, what the fuck is your deck? And then I was just like, it's this. And then I didn't play it properly. And he was like, did you, what did he say? He said, did you not even read the cards? So eventually I was just like, haha, this is funny. Stop fucking picking on me. And he was like, oh, I was just kidding. And I was like, okay.
The only uncommon that I've seen so far that's $2 is, I don't know, Baby Godzilla Polylike Symbiote is an uncommon 220. Dorat the Perfect Pet is Sprite Dragon is 203.
Oh, I'm saying non Godzilla.
There are no
uncommons. Yeah, because not any of the Godzilla cards we're going to keep and like keep away.
Yeah, I need to figure out because the Ghidorah card is the most expensive card in the set. If we can pull a Japanese foiled full art, I would shit myself.
Ghidorah, the Godzilla. Oh man, that's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough because we don't have a collector box.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
Realistically, we should get another one. But
yeah, I know it's so expensive.
I think we should get another box and then another collector.
Yeah, maybe a little later. So,
hell, I might get another box.
Yeah, I might get another box too. I'm gonna see how this goes, how just a normal box opening is, and then I'll kind of base it off of that. If this doesn't go well, then I'll just buy the booster box, the bundle boxes.
Bro, that sounded fucking gross. I heard all that in the mic.
Yeah, sorry. Hopefully you don't get upset about that. Yeah, just the bundle boxes, the $30 ones.
Oh yeah,
$40 now.
No, wait, we should actually do, so we have a you buy the booster bundle. Yeah. I'll buy another booster box because I got the Jap one because I speak a Chinese. That's not how that works. So we'll doing that. This one's going to be really fast because one, we can't read any of them.
Yeah.
And then I'll just buy another box, an American box, and then we'll just open that up, and then you can do the.
Box toppers are going for $30.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
There's not a topper in this one. They didn't do toppers in the Japanese. However, I'm gonna probably buy a box maybe tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And I should get a topper and maybe a promo. I need to see if one of the two shops, or we have 3 shops here.
Yeah.
One is just a shed. I had to go and get Bond of Flourishings over there, and I was just like, and this was the shop that apparently was like the most pompous out of the 3 that we have, and I walked in and I was like, "Do you have magic cards here?" And he was like, "Yeah, we got a lot of them," and I was like, "Where?"
I would also like to do a draft box.
Ooh. Well, you have to stop babysitting the dying dog. Because the draft will take forever.
Well, I'm done on Saturday, so.
Oh, let's do it Sunday. Oh, wait, I have to get the cards over here. Sorry, I'm so used to let's go and get a box.
Let's go down the street and do that. Also, Wizards is trying to help promote going to local game shops. So they're doing
local game syrups. I couldn't breeze over that, man.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, game syrup.
I was hoping we let that go.
Dude, I'm putting that on merch. Game syrup. That's a song name.
That's also what our first shirt will be.
Dude.
Local game shops. Wizards is doing like cards you can only get at local game shops. They're like actually releasing the Mecha Godzilla in English, but it's a different art. And there's a couple other cards.
Yeah, I'm so down.
That you can only get at local. I don't think they're even charging local game shops for those cards. They're just gonna send them to them. And then I don't know, like, if you have to buy so much. I don't know what the requisitions are getting for those cards. But
once they open up, I'm gonna call them and figure out what's what,
mm-hmm.
and then I will get a box because if anything, they might be doing like block, like they'll just like we go and pick it up.
Yeah,
but we can't go in there.
I mean, that would be cool too. Even if we could do that, that'd be easier.
If we do, if we can do that, I'm gonna be like, yo, well, let me know all your singles. I need to get a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as I can do that, I'm gonna buy a box from them and then get those cards because I want to get them. I mean, honestly, like I think everyone's gonna do it, so the price is gonna drop hard. I don't think they're gonna be that expensive. Because the Theros pack that we got, the Theros box,
yeah,
we got the 6-drop Orzhov creature, and that thing is like maybe $3.
Yeah. I also hate the people that run those elemental, whatever they're called, and from Theros. The cards you can only like put on the field if you pay its escape mechanic.
Oh, the Titans.
The Titans, that's what they are. People that run those, and it's just like, why? Because they're not really that good. They were expensive, but it's like there's one of them that you like. If you put it onto the field, I have to sacrifice 2 creatures or something like that.
Yeah, that was Croxa.
Yeah, Croxa, and then the other one, Unin or whatever it's called. Uro. You gain 3 life, but it's still dumb, and I'm like I've seen people like do that, like they just bounce it just to gain life, and I'm like, why?
It was.
I also don't get life gain, so that's just
life gain decks.
Yeah, I don't get why those are a thing.
Have you seen White Weenie?
Yeah, I have, and I run over it. So.
All right. Yeah, I have seen him, and I throw trucks at him.
Yeah, I know. I just don't get it. So I wish I had a fling for that Paradise Druid. I've also double shocked somebody to win a game, and I felt really bad because I hate doing that. So
I don't give a shit. I do not give a shit. I've gotten shocked by so many people, including you.
Yeah, I know.
On your end step, shock.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I swear to fucking God.
Yeah. But the other things that I wanted to talk about is Arena is so addicting. And you'll kind of catch the bug once you like get a deck that you like built and you can start playing it. But it's just like, man, I have it so many times where I'm like, all right, I have to go do this thing. I'll play one more game, and then like something happens, they concede or I don't like win.
It's
the
not
way
satisfying.
I wanted to. It's not satisfying enough. So I'm like, all right, I'll do one more game, fucking. And then I like just start doing it again. And then I just get stuck in that loop, and then 3 hours later, I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, dude, I went to bed at 5.
Yeah.
I went to bed at 5, and I was like, fuck. But I was just so frustrated. Or no, I'm sorry. I went to bed at 5, but I stopped playing at 4. Because I got frustrated with the layout. I didn't know where the fuck the tree was. I didn't know, like... I was going to pump money into it, but I was like, I don't know how it works. I don't want to pump money into it, and then I fuck up, and now I have to pump more money into it. So just getting really... a little overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Because I'm so used to like, all right, I'm going to go on eBay and buy 4 Agent of Treacheries and then sleep and wake up and it'll be here. Now I'm like, okay, I have to buy packs. So it was just a little overwhelming. And I was tired of playing monocolored decks that I just don't have the card. Like if I'm playing mono blue, you best know counters are going to be in it. But I only have like 5 counters and they're all different counters. And it was frustrating. I felt like
now that I know how wild cards work, what Wizards should do is base price of the cards, right? They know how much gems are worth per like dollar, right? Because like they have the math done.
How much is it? Do you think per gem?
I would say probably. I don't know what the math is because it's 306. It's 3,000 and so to get 30 packs. is 3,000 gems. Like, obviously, that's about a booster box, right? Because there's 32 packs in that, right?
Yeah.
But if that's only $20 in real life. Right?
See, that's the thing that my friend Johnny was telling me. He was like, he play tests standard decks on Arena. He'll just buy packs until he gets his cards, because he said that it is just exponentially cheaper.
Yeah, you to spend $100 to buy that. Well, that's a little more expensive because it's Japanese. But a typical booster box is $100, right around $100, right? You get 90 packs for $100.
See, I have full intentions to spend $100 today.
Yeah, and it's just like, what? You tell me I can get 3 booster box for one. So what I'm saying, getting back to what I was, sorry, I got distracted with.
You know what's also cool as well? So the booster boxes. So this booster box, it's technically cheaper to buy this than normal booster packs, but versus like on Arena, what I like about Arena is you can get 90 packs.
Yeah.
But different packs.
Yeah, you can like obviously it would be cheaper to get 90 packs of one set than like 90 packs of different things. So yeah, but if you like split 30 of
I'm going to
30
buy
Ikoria, 30 Thuros, and 30 like Thrones.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do.
But
yeah.
I mean, you even don't have to do. You could do 90 Ikoria packs, and then you will have enough wild cards to get any card you want.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that they're wild cards.
I think they should scrap the wild card system and then put a gem price on every card.
Yeah,
which would help balance the meta.
That would be singles.
Yeah, and then you would just do singles.
If they do singles, I swear to God, I will be like, dude, I'm gonna.
And they would make so much more money.
If they do singles on Arena, I think what I would do is I'd split up my time 1 month doing complete music recording, and then the other month trying to get into Mythic.
Yeah. And Mythic is I would say they have done their like tier ladder right. Because Mythic is the 6th tier, and you have to win so it's bronze, silver, gold, diamond, platinum, Mythic. But there's 4, from my understanding, there's 4 tiers in every so there's 4 bronze tiers, 4 silver tiers, 4 gold tiers, and I think 4 diamond and platinum tiers, and then I don't know how Mythic works. Yeah. But I like that, and I like that you have to win 3 matches in each tier to move up a tier, like technically, because you move up 2 bars in each tier when every game you win. If you lose a game, you move down 1 bar, so now you have to win like 3 games again, and I like that. I think it's pretty competitive that way.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of broken. Obviously, there's not going to be a perfect system for that, but it also shouldn't be you play 1 game. It should be traditional standard is the ranked, not like the standard that's in Arena where it's 1 game. So
So what I'm going to start doing once I start getting my actual decks together, I'm going to do traditional.
Yeah.
Because I like, you've known me for a while, and then especially in Magic, I like my sideboards.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't have sideboards built at the moment because there's no point for them.
Yeah.
And if like the Mythic tournaments are based on traditional standards, so the ranking system should be based on traditional standard.
Mm-hmm.
So
Joji, what the fuck? Yo, real quick, you know what we forgot to do? Clap.
Oh shit. Well, you spiked it, so I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. If anything, I can. It's easier than you think.
We could.
Sure.
Yeah, we could. It's the clapping is makes it much more convenient.
I might be able to. I think I have an app somewhere buried that I can actually Photoshop. I can Photoshop just our heads and then send it to you, and you can just plant it on the.
Yeah, because man, I was like trying to do stuff, and I was like, so I had like a picture of fire and then the collector box, and I was gonna like try to like do some stuff with it, and I was just sitting there staring at a screen like I don't know where to start.
If you can just send. Oh, Jojo, sorry, I put him on. I made him land on his bunk arm. If you send me notes with just ideas that you have, I probably will be able to do it.
Oh, I know, but I want realistically, how we haven't really sat down and had a meeting about it yet. But how I wanted to do it was you take care of like the sound part of the podcast, and then I would take care of like the video part, which would be the Photoshop stuff too. But for the thumbnails.
I think if you got used to the Photoshop thing,
yeah. I just have to like learn and like get used to it and play with it. So.
I do have an app. Sorry. I have an app on my iPad that literally I can take it and like border out certain things and just keep bordering it to where it's just like that thing. And then I also have a blend feature on that specific app to where like the flame thing with the box. Mm-hmm. What are you doing?
He likes to stretch.
I like to stretch. I can blend those two together.
Yeah. I just have to like figure it out.
If you do have trouble with it and we're on a time crunch, you can just send it to me. I'll do it real quick and send it back.
Yeah.
You know, we're having a meeting on a podcast.
Well, I haven't been around a lot recently, and if I am around, I'm here for like 2 hours.
Yeah, you're here to do the. You're here to. Is this how your girlfriend feels?
Yeah. She's like,
I don't have one, and I'm sad.
She's like, when am I gonna see you again? On Saturday.
Be like, don't know. Also, it'd be super unrealistic for you to drive all the way to her place
for an hour.
Yo, I have to talk to you about something off camera.
Well, that's fine.
I'm gonna write it in the notes.
I have something to talk to you about off camera too. So.
Uh-oh.
I'm sure you know about it already, but we could talk about it after this.
Sick.
If you open it, I don't remember it. I might not remember it. Oh well.
I already put it in the notes.
Okay.
All right. So we talking about this coffee or Nas?
Ooh, theme song go.
Sure. So this week we have. What's wrong with me today? My old man is coming out real bad. This week we are trying King's Coast Coffee Company. You can get it off the King's Coast Coffee website. It's $15 a bag. we gotten the oh my god. That was your mic, by the way.
I hate this when we're switched.
Yeah, I know.
My bad.
$15 a bag. You can get the different blends. We use a French press, so we got the French press blend. But you can get it like in whole bean or ground. We usually get whole bean a lot of the times because we have a coffee grinder.
Because we're pompous.
And we're a little pompous. But you can definitely get it in different blends and stuff like that. Phenomenal coffee. And you also need to send me that ranking list again so I can put it on my laptop now.
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
But I'll put it here for a couple minutes. Yeah, where do you rank the coffee?
So here's the thing. I lost my cursor. There it is. Let me. I gotta add one more.
While you're doing that, the notes to the coffee are fruity, creamy, caramel, and sweet. I don't really taste the fruity. I do taste like the creamy and sweet blends in it.
Let me go to the list really quick. So here's the thing.
I actually tasted the fruity blends right there a little bit. The fruity taste is in the front, and then that creamy taste comes in the back.
I love the fruity taste. That's the theme of the Record Book podcast.
It's I think. Oh man, I know where it is. All right, hold on. Let me type it in.
I would say for me, it ranks probably at number 5.
It's 6 for me.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh yeah, okay,
we have all
I'm
10,
an idiot.
yeah.
I was like, this doesn't seem like the right amount.
It's 10.
So as of right now, my I love how my Cracker Barrel is Crater Barrel on my list. So my list right now is Valhalla, Insomniac, Coyote, Rooster Teeth, Kicking Horse, Get Woke, Highland, Silencer, West Oak, and Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. At least we have a bottom. At least we know Cracker Barrel's.
Yo, I'm a power bottom, as they say.
No response.
I quit.
Yeah, I think for me, let me see that. Let me see your list.
Watch out, I have a bunch of porn on there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was Valhalla, Insomniac. I think it was Rooster Teeth, Kicking Horse, and then The Get Woke. Then Coyote, Highland Silencer, West Oak Cracker. Like ours vary a little differently, but I should have actually made a list originally.
I thought you had one.
I don't know. I might do. I have one somewhere. But I need to make an actual list. Now that I have a more permanent setup. We're done with Arena at this point, so let me get. I'll keep it.
There's a couple things I'm gonna bring up. While we're, I want to do a shout out really quick to our good friend Emily, who provided a new binder for us and a couple decks. Like a Vampire Life Gain and her Reanimation deck. Yeah. With one other deck, I can't remember what exactly it does. Oh, it's just it's a Dominaria base deck. With the Baby Teferi, and it's cool. It's
what is that 1/1 vampire with lifelink Death Touch?
Oh god, that's
it's Vampire of the Dire Moon. It's a 1 cost. That is in every vampire deck. And fuck it. Because it's like, man, do I want to fucking. So how my mutate deck works is Paradise Druid is key, right? But a Boral Grazer drops as a 0/3, so I can't. I don't want to sack Paradise Druid, but I can't get rid of it with a Boral Grazer.
And a Boral Grazer will 100% die.
Yeah, and it's just like, and then so I get behind 3 turns, and then they drop 2 or 3 of those, and then they get that stupid white black flying vampire. 2 seconds.
You know how to fix that?
Mm-hmm.
That there's one mechanic that doesn't get touched by Death Touch.
What?
First Strike.
Yeah, and I might start playing with the tokens, like the First Strike, like because there's mutate creatures that can give First Strike tokens and stuff like that. So I might really start playing with those and seeing if I can start messing with that. I also got a Thief of Sanity in a pack, and I was like, "Oh, hey, Alex."
Ooh, Thief of Sanity. I miss that card, but it's not very good. Like the mechanic is quite nice, but it's realistically it's kind of shit.
Yeah. I like the card and it was fun, and I've played a couple people that dropped them, and I was like, "Oh, that's nice."
Have you run the Ozolith yet?
No, I don't have it.
If you got a playset, would you run it?
I mean, it could work well in my rule deck, but
I don't know if I'd run it. But I'm also not running tokens very often.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't run tokens unless it's in my Gruul deck, so and that's the only way I would run it. But it's also within the Gruul deck I'm running out of cards that I can and can't use with it, so
I mean, eventually what you could do is you could just not fuck with that Gruul deck anymore. Like eventually it'll get finished.
I mean, it is more or less finished, so and I'm not really messing with it. It's realistically it's just it's more about
the problem that I have, it's not a problem. So obviously my Dimir deck is done. It's gone. I took it apart. My Orzhov deck is taken apart because I was tired of Orzhov.
Yeah.
Mono Blue is gone as well. So literally I have Sultai, Atrada, Jeskai Fire Super Friends, Mono Black Aggro, and Mono Blue Legacy Polymorph, and those decks do not get touched anymore. Sorry, minus Mono Black. Mono Black is changing, but everything else is those are the decks. I don't fuck with them anymore. I'm going to try to rebuild all of them in Arena, minus the Legacy deck, obviously.
Yeah.
Because I do not want to run that. And also, I think Emrakul is banned in Historic, and that's literally the win con.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because as soon as you open it up, it's like, oh, hey, Ulamog isn't banned because he just dropped in Historic 3 apparently. So.
Yeah, Ulamog is also legal in Pioneer. I also have a Pioneer mono green deck.
I would like them to drop Pioneer within this because they could.
I want them to run Pioneer and Pauper. Pauper? Yeah, Pauper.
Yeah. They do free Brawl. It's like Brawl Wednesday or whatever because it was up yesterday and I was going to play it, but I don't have a Brawl deck, so and I don't even know how to get started in Brawl.
You would just honestly, I would just get a pre-con because we're not worried about it. Like I don't give a fuck about Brawl all that much. But it'd be cool to play. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of 100-card decks and all of them being singles. However, as a price-wise, so much cheaper.
Yeah.
But and also Brawl, it's easy. It's very easy to understand the knowledge or to understand Brawl because Brawl is standard.
Yeah.
Instead of like normal Commander, 4-part Commander, where it's like you can get beta cards. I mean, most of them are banned, but like realistically, you can go all the way to the beginning of like 1993 Magic the Gathering and use those cards. And I don't even know what was released in 1993. I know the Pox, the Lotuses, and all that shit was released, but other than that, I don't even know what half of them do because I don't play that far behind.
What is it? Lotus Field, I think, is the card.
The one from
Theros.
Yeah.
No, it might be a different one.
I have it.
You have to sack 3 lands to bring it out.
Oh yeah, no, I don't have that one.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. Let me look it up. But yeah, it's silly. Somebody dropped it the other day, and I was like, you just got rid of 3 lands. I think you would like add something to your like. It's so many.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, Lotus Field. Hexproof. Lotus Field enters battlefield tap. When Lotus Field enters the battlefield, sacrifice 2 lands, and you add 3 mana of any one color. Which is like, I don't think that's worth it. So,
realistically, if you're in the end game to where you're like, I'm about to win, then then it's worth it. You know?
Yeah.
Like the companions, they never are supposed to go out until like you're like, okay, I'm about to win the game.
Yeah, like Umari, I drop Umari right before I start mutating real hard because it like drops.
You run a companion deck?
Yeah, I have Umari in my mutate deck because it drops. You can drop one of the colorless mana cost with Umari.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it makes it so I can just mutate more.
Can you send me a screenshot of your deck again, so I can put it on our goldfish? Yeah. Oh yeah, that needs to be in the notes as well for plugs.
Yeah, MTG Goldfish.
MTG Goldfish.
I also think that in Arena they should make packs that are not within the standard cheaper. Because I'm looking at it right now, and like M19, it's still like the same price for packs.
Well, you have to think about like Pioneer, Modern, Legacy,
well, I know, but
Extended.
It's only like Historic is the only like playable game type at the moment for those packs, and it's just
like in Arena, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying like in Arena they should make those packs cheaper, because then you would like have more of a want to play those. Historic type if the packs were cheaper, so
yeah. But
that's just me.
I want to tell you, the 3 names that I got. So the album is pretty much done. I've decided, one, because I need to get a new cable for the MIDI controller, not because the cable's broken or anything, but the cable we were using was for the Snowball, and Connor was like, "Can I?" Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, just take it." I have fucking 16 songs. Like, I don't really need to keep writing. I'm gonna tally up the amount of time, but so now I'm just like, I'm probably going to start the mastering process.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna start the full editing process on the iPad, and then transferring it to here, and then start actually mastering it, and then from there start the business side of everything.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't named everything, but here are 3 names aside from Game Syrup that I got. I feel like I'm in Wiz Khalifa's mind.
Okay.
Link likes playing in the dirt.
Yeah.
It's an Evan quote. And ramen is just anime spaghetti. Spaghetti. Spaghetti.
No, that's good. I like that.
Spaghetti.
Those are good names.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the fucking... Look, I have one that's post-bust clarity, man,
Okay, so I guess we're kind of on the back end of this at this point. Well, I wanted to talk about Ikoria as a set as a whole. Do you like Ikoria?
I love Ikoria. You know what makes this Yeah, we'll discuss it after. This is more so like our how good we are at doing podcasts. I like it, man. I pulled a classification too in Arena, and I was like, man, I'm never gonna use this.
Yeah, I pulled a classification.
I like it. It's definitely like. There's one thing that kept being brought up, since realistically since M20, was we had a specific meta, and then there were certain bannings, and then there were still certain cards or certain decks that were in the meta. So obviously at M20, you had the Golos Field of the Dead decks.
Yep.
We still had Orzhov and Esper Control and Mono Red. And then we had Oko decks, which 85% of the competition that year was Oko decks. That got banned, but we still had Mono Red, Orzhov, and Esper Control. And then fucking, rinse and repeat, we had all of that again. And then we have, and then Ikoria came out, and like, first of all, like when it comes to like Orzhov is kind of, the control decks are kind of going away now, which is kind of unfortunate because I liked them, but they weren't realistically changing at all. And then Mono Red came out, or Mono Red changes with per set, and then Ikoria came out, and those decks, Mono Red is still relatively played a lot as far as like the meta, but Ikoria kind of dented both of those styles.
Yeah, no,
I was just like, hey, by the way, and I loved it. And I also like, I like the new mechanics. Mm-hmm. I like the new play style that I've been enjoying a lot. It really contributes to it.
Yeah,
like fires. And so I'm really excited to get fires going in Arena and really test out what I can do. But I quite enjoy Ikoria a lot. I like that. I think they should do this more often, not even on accident. I think they should do cards like Death Corona that it's like, okay, we don't really know how much are out there, or like we do, but once everyone figures it out, then we're going to figure out the price. Or like, hey, here are these like exclusive cards, not even full arts or like showcase. The showcases are sick. I like the showcases more in this one than in Ikoria.
Oh, okay.
Because Ikoria just looked like I accidentally spilled spaghetti on him. Spaghetti. But I do like the Godzilla stuff quite a bit.
Yeah.
But it's more like I'm a sucker for Godzilla. Like, could you imagine if they did one and it was just like fucking Transformers? Like, I'd buy the shit out of that. Or like Nintendo games.
Yeah, I think this the Godzilla stuff is potentially like this could lead to some really cool stuff. And the Godzilla cards sold really well. And I think probably maybe going forward, if they could get more like contracts and like companies to do it, it could be phenomenal. You could do Marvel cards, DC, like there's a huge avenue for this, and it could really make Wizards money and make like other companies money through playing cards.
I'm not sure how I feel about like the idea of Marvel.
I'm just saying, like, that's just an idea,
Yeah, I get it. Could you imagine like it'd be sick. I would be so broke for weeks. Like, hey, we have a bunch of like alternate arts, and it's all Lord of the Rings, and be like, oh no.
Yeah, like that.
What have you done?
Lord of the Rings is a little tough because the Tolkien Foundation or whatever it's called is real finicky with like.
Oh yeah, they'd have to like if they get it approved, then it's like, dude, if you fuck up my podcast right now, I'm gonna fucking.
He's messing with my cord.
I'm not gonna hurt you because you're the best. You're the best.
Yeah, like I remember, like with The Hobbit, Warner Brothers didn't want to bring Peter Jackson back on, but the like Tolkien Foundation was like, no, you're gonna bring Peter Jackson back on, and you're not making these movies. So they were like, oh, okay.
Well, okay.
Yeah, and then it was only supposed to be 2 movies, and then Warner Brothers was like, can you stretch it out to 3?
And then, yeah, I could imagine they were like, you want us. Okay. What?
God, JoJo.
JoJo, I know, buddy, you're just really fat.
I'm stuck on the cord. Okay.
This is, I can hear it. I can hear him purring. Oh yeah, I guess it'll.
No, it's fine. Yeah. So, I like our choreo a lot too.
Hold on. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to get a little bit of purring. Yeah, but like real quick, it was just like, can we stretch this out for 3 movies? And it's like, you want us to stretch out one book into 2 to 3 hour long movies?
One book that's like not even 200 pages long.
Yeah, one book that was like you could read in an afternoon.
Yeah.
That's probably why the movies were shit.
Yeah, and it's so they took a lot of some stuff. There's some like lore books and some other things that Peter Jackson kind of like the Gandalf stuff, because Gandalf just like disappears in the book. Like all the stuff that happens after he leaves them like doesn't happen in the book, and he had to like kind of use what he knew and some of the other stuff that Tolkien wrote about Gandalf. He like worked around, from my understanding. And
oh yeah, you're talking about Sauron, like that whole thing.
Yeah. There was some.
I loved that part of The Hobbit. Like they were like really getting to know who Sauron was. Like he was a necromancer.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, but that wasn't in the book. That was all, used through other means to kind of make.
I'm sure they looked into the Silmarillion.
Yeah, like, and there's the Silmarillion, and then Tolkien's son. Like, there's like 8 volumes of lore books that are out that Tolkien's son just kind of like he used, like Tolkien's work and things like that, and expanded on it. Because Tolkien wrote a shit ton of stuff down that he just never used for this world.
Which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Tolkien, his like stance with writing the books is he was taking the stance of somebody that was like transcribing like history, like these events actually happened, and he was like interpreting it and like writing it down as someone who was looking from the outside in. Like he didn't write it as like he was writing a story. He was writing it as like a historian.
Yeah,
which is really cool. Not to get on this whole tangent.
Yeah, we should save this for extras.
Yeah, one point that I wanted to talk about before we actually ended it. It was going to be on extras, but we have a ton of stuff.
We have a fuckload for extras.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like a full-length film or full-length episode. JoJo.
Joji.
But I watched Logan again yesterday. I was going to watch The Lord of the Rings, but then I saw Logan. I was like, I haven't seen this in a while. Let me watch this. And it got me thinking, because we don't really talk about it anymore, whose death was better? No, JoJo. No.
Good Christ. You got to put him down.
Yeah.
We're not going to get through this fucking podcast.
Oh, that happened. Okay. 2 seconds. You got to go, bud. Whose death was better, Iron Man or Wolverine?
I said Iron Man, but he also like saved the universe.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's just it's interesting because both of these like characters and both these actors had like Robert Downey Jr. did it for 10 years, and then Hugh Jackman, I think it was like 15, as Wolverine. I think longer than that. No, it was almost 20 years.
It was a while, and he was in a lot of movies. He was like an extra in a bunch of them, or not an extra. He was like a cameo in a couple of them.
Yeah, he was in almost every X-Men movie. And it's just we don't like Iron Man's death is super eventful, and they both are like the end of the era of these characters and like these actors playing these characters. And it's just funny because we don't really talk about Wolverine's death anymore, and that's sad. Like both of them, I think, were executed perfectly.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they did a really good job with Logan. Logan is my favorite X-Men movie.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It was it was very emotional for me. Like you could see the adamantium like killing him.
Yeah.
And then spoilers, he got an entire fucking tree impaled into him.
Yeah, I watched that last. That's like the scene where like it hits me the worst. is like when he gets impaled and you're like, oh god.
Dude, there was one time I remember I was watching it with my buddy Jesus, and I think it might have been my buddy Richard. But we went to go see it, and like as soon as he got like that fucking weird adrenaline shot, and then like all the like fucking the guys with the guns were just like kind of skimming the perimeter, and you just hear Wolverine fucking yelling. I remember getting goosebumps, and I remember going up to leaning over to Jesus and being like, I'm hard as fuck. Because you just heard this fucking like, oh, and then you just see this fucking man, and I was just like, I need to jack off right now.
Oh yeah. It's phenomenal. That movie is so good. It's just, I'm absolutely going to miss Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. There's rumors and stuff of like how they're going to reintroduce him, but to get back to the talking point.
Well, there's like multiple different universes.
Yeah. So how they're going to stray away, but then I'll come back. The rumor is that Wolverine will be the first X-Men introduced, and he'll be introduced with the Fantastic Four, because they're going to be part of. So the Earth. I forget what Earth the MCU is on, but it's going to be like a separate universe, like separate Earth, separate timeline Earth that the Fantastic Four and the mutants are in, and that John Krasinski is being like eyed for Mr. Fantastic, like everybody wants, and then they haven't figured out who Wolverine's going to be, but they're going to come through a portal, and then start becoming part of the MCU on the Earth that the MCU is part of. Mm-hmm. And that's how they're gonna like explain why they're not around at this point, and like, so they don't have to like try to circle back and like try to fix some things and work around the other movies. They're just gonna introduce them, like they're just gonna like kind of pop in through a portal.
Yeah, I would love to see MCU have to deal with Deadpool. Yeah,
the fan response and fan wants is that he'll start doing the Stan Lee cameo type things,
which I'm okay with, but they have to execute it properly.
Yes,
you know, like the first movie was phenomenal. Like it's just like he just seemed like someone. You know what he seemed like? He seemed like someone that just went to fry all the time and then just eventually became a superhero.
No, for sure, and like that's the idea. And like Ryan Reynolds had said, he's staying as Deadpool, which will be fun because it'll also be fun of the antics of like, this isn't what I remembered the X-Men being, and like all the weird like fourth wall breaking that Deadpool does.
Yeah.
But now you have an entire dead franchise that he can base jokes around, which will also be like that could be good.
We're not going to discuss the original Deadpool that he was, because that was rough.
Yeah.
I whole ass think that the only person that can play Deadpool and that only has played Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds, because Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, that is his character, and it's funny now because he's being typecasted as that character, not like the rom-com character that he was before, but that like mouthy, smart-ass type, which is funny, and it works for him. And if that's the roles he wants, do it for sure. But come back around, I think Wolverine's death is a little better because it's a little more impactful to me, because I like remember watching like the original X-Men movie as a kid, and like these are superhero movies, and I don't think we're ever going to get a character like either character deaths like that for a long time, potentially, like the impact of those two characters.
Yeah.
Because, like, granted, we did grow up on Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man also, and, like, his death meant more for the movie and, like, had a much more higher impact, like, on that franchise as a whole, because, like, everybody knew X-Men was, like, coming to an end because of the Disney stuff. So, like, with Logan being the last movie, pretty much. Well, there was Dark Phoenix, but nobody cares about that. And New Mutants is coming out still, I guess. But,
yeah, and then the TV shows were fucking garbage.
Yeah, a lot of people like the TV show, the one that was on FX. I forget what it's called, but
the cartoon?
No, not the cartoon. The I forget what that TV show is called. I've never watched it, but there's one on FX, and it dealt with Charles Xavier's son. But yeah, there was some of those X-Men movies were really good. Like X-Men 1, X-Men 2, First Class was pretty good. Days of Future Past is really, really good. But yeah, and the Logan is top tier. There's a black and white version of the movie, like a noir version, which is I haven't seen yet, but I kind of want to get my hands on.
You know what I wish they capitalized on, or maybe even made like a. I would have liked even like a separate movie, but the plot line would be really fucking weird. So I doubt they'd get it, but I would love to have seen more of like the Sentinel War.
Yeah, Days of Future Past was weird because they try to follow the comics as close as possible, and there really isn't much on it of like that universe and that dark time, like other alternate timeline. But yeah, I would love to see that. I would love them to kind of continue with the Sentinels, but because those comics are really good. I had those comics at one point. I got my hands on them at one point, but when I was actually really collecting comic books. I also had the first appearance of Gambit at one point. Was that Uncanny X-Men? I think 121. I'm probably wrong on that, but yeah, I had that. I sold it for $100 one day. No, that was fun. But yeah, I think for me at least, Wolverine's death is a little more impactful. Just because I absolutely loved that character growing up, and I think Hugh Jackman did it really well, even though Hugh Jackman's character, that his portrayal of Wolverine is not necessarily the portrayal of Wolverine in the comics, but it's super good. And then Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, like, you know, that he is Tony Stark, and that death is also like really good. And it like Wolverine's death like barely etches out Iron Man's, like in my books at least.
Yeah, so for me, I like the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
So for me, Robert Downey Jr. So first of all, like I remember when you and I first watched it.
Yeah.
I was like, first of all, I was drunk as shit.
Yeah, you were.
I was fucking trashed. But I remember being like, I think I got in my feels a little bit, not because of Robert, not because of Tony Stark. It was because everyone around me was crying, and I was like, am I emotionless? Like, this is a really sad scene, and I kind of don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah, I mean, I was bawling my eyes out too.
Oh, yeah, I could see the reflection of the show on your face.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and don't get me wrong, like that death, Tony Stark's death is huge, and it infects me on a lot of different levels because of how I don't want to like have a 20-minute discussion on it, but it's interesting because so many times like Tony is the billionaire philanthropist, playboy philanthropist, like that's his title, and then Captain America is the soldier, right? And I really like their deaths because, like how their endings are. Because
Captain America didn't really die.
No, but the trick is that Tony is carefree, and Chris Evans, Steve Rogers is a soldier, and he's supposed to have a soldier's death. He's supposed to be able to like die and rest, and so having Tony being able to rest, like that's like Popper.
It's like the flip.
Peppers, yeah, it's a flip,
flip.
So Steve Rogers was able to he's not dead, but he's able to have a carefree ending, and that Tony is able to have like a soldier's death. That's my takeaway from it, and that's like why that's such
clever.
A big impact
I never
for
thought
me.
about it.
Yeah, and that I really like that line at the beginning of Endgame when she's like, well, "But will you be able to rest?" Because that's such a big like army thing, I guess, is soldiers being able to like sit and rest. It's like being like when they play Reverie during so when you lower the flag on a military base, they play Revelry because it's meaning that you're able, like, it's your time of rest, you're done for the day, and they play it at soldiers' funerals because they're being laid to rest. So that line, "Will you be able to rest?" like reminds me of that, and that when Pepper says it at the end is "You can rest now." In my brain, it links to soldiers' rest, and that idea. So that's why it's impactful for me, because at the end of the day, Tony was a soldier. He was, he fought in all these wars, and despite his carefree persona and all these things, like at the end of the day, he was. So, and I really like the flip endings, and it's not necessarily, defying expectations for the characters, but it's a nice flip, and it shows how their characters grew and changed over the 10 years and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to get, I didn't want to go down that hole, but
you did for 15 minutes. So.
Yeah, I know.
Remember that one time we had a second part of the podcast for extras?
Yeah, for extras that we were supposed to wrap things up. But so that is, I think, our podcast for the week.
Yeah. We'll be. I don't know how to do this because we have another podcast to do, and then we have camera stuff. I don't know where to put my hands.
Yeah, I know. That's my favorite line from that box opening last week.
What?
Is you open your first pack and you just go, I don't know where to do with my hands.
God.
Yeah, so we have a YouTube now, YouTube channel. It's The Magic of Coffee. You can't just if you search for it on YouTube, you have to go into the search thing and click channel, and it'll be the first channel that pops up. It's not gonna pop anything up if you just regularly search it at this point. But there's one video up. It's our box opening we did last week for the collector box. Go give it a watch. We are on Facebook, which is The Magic of Coffee. And then we're on Instagram, which is The Magic of Coffee MTG.
It's both Facebook and Instagram.
Okay,
The Magic of Coffee MTG.
Yeah, Twitter is the Twitter handle is The Magic of Coff1 COFF1.
And our MTG Goldfish is The Magic of Coffee.
Yeah.
And for any of my music, go to Spotify or any platform, Alexander Gregory. And my newest album, Whiskey Chronicles, should be out very soon. We're getting towards the ass end of all of that.
Yep.
So I think we're.
If you're listening to this, it's probably on SoundCloud, but we are on all podcast platforms except for Spotify, which I think we're going to start working on that too. But
I guess.
So give us a listen. Recommend it to your friends. Start getting more out there. This was episode 10.